Hello, hello, hello. How we doing? Guitar Lil and Panda? Hope you guys are okay. I'm trying to say while your brain is an active buffer sign. It's not fun. No, that's never fun. By the way, we are starting out in the creative world today because there is something I want to test. Basically, I've been having a look at my power and thinking that it might well be a good idea to upgrade my power a little bit. I want to add basically like 50% more Naquita reactors onto it, just to add just a little bit of an extra buffer. The Naquita reactors shouldn't take long to craft or anything like that. So, and we should have more than enough fuel to do that. Although I do want to have a look at improving our Naquita line anyway. But what I want to do, we've not got shaders on at the moment as well. I turned those off because I left the Omnic casings crafting yesterday while I was doing other stuff. I've only been up about 45 minutes, Bubble Brainer, so far nothing's gone wrong. So hopefully that will continue. Luciella, hello. How you doing? But yeah, what I want to do, I want to see if there's a couple of things. Let's say I want to improve my power gen. I also want to improve our capacitor. I think I only need to really add in one more capacitor, and that's one of these. One UHV ultimate capacitor will hold, I think that's 9 quintillion EU. So if we just add one of those, replace one of the current layers with that, we can basically store as much power as we could possibly want, which will be fantastic. And it's not too bad to craft either. We need to research one of the energy clusters. We can already make those. We have 144. I think we've got 144. We've got 4 lots of 36. So yeah, 144 computation work units per tick. So we can do that. And we have, as far as I can tell, everything we need here. I've got to open that again.
Sub D.
Who's that? Bubble Brainer, thank you so much, man. You really should not have done that, given how kind of little time we've got left streaming, but I do appreciate it regardless. Thank you so much. Can we get some love and hearts in the chat? Also, you are going to be the first person in the, well, what's going to be a very empty October room. What's your IGN, Bubble? And how are you doing, Chloe? What is going on with Twitch's idea of hype trains? Because it made sense before, when we'd just been raided and they were started hype trains just after like a big event of some kind. I don't know. Guitar Lilin. I don't get it. I don't know what Twitch is doing. Twitch is apparently having a moment. But Bubble, what's your IGN? Oh, sorry, you've literally just told me. Sorry, I'm apparently still not awake. Is this you? Did I spell that correctly? A very kind of a business-like suit with a lapel thing. By the way, thank you so much, Bubble Brainer. I appreciate it. That's correct. Awesome. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate it. And congratulations on being the first person this month's thing. Oh, speaking of which, I need to replace that clipboard down there. And grab that one. Not that we put anything on this yet, but there we go. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate it. Anyway, right, yeah, what I was saying was we want to upgrade our power so we can get a little bit more, but I also want to upgrade the cabling that we have, because we had all those issues with the cabling where it was where under certain circumstances the cables burned. They were very rare circumstances, but they did burn. And I think we figured out that it was down to the nuclear craft reactors filling up the capacitor bank, and then because the capacitor bank filled and the other reactors were still running, when the capacitor bank emptied a little bit, they then tried to shove basically all their power into the cables, because we'd made the cables only that should have been able to just manage how much they could output, but apparently they couldn't, and some of the cables burnt. So what I wanted to do was switch all of them out for, and this was suggested yesterday actually by Hideyoshi, for Omnium cables, because these can handle up to 64. Well, the 1X cables can handle up to 64 amps of UEV. The 2X ones can handle up to 128 amps of UEV, which is more than enough. But the thing I'm not sure about is how higher tier cables handle lower tier energy packets. Do they send them as the lower tier energy packets? Or do they convert them to the higher tier? Because if they send them as the lower tier, we can probably just get a 64 amp UV energy hatch on our capacitor bank. But if they convert them to the higher tier, we can't. The amp's the same, they don't convert. Okay. Is that just what it's like in GTNH though, or is that what it's like in GT Modern as well? I don't know if they changed the way the energy system works or not. That's why we're here to test now, actually, though. We want to test this out. It's an easy enough thing to test. That's GT all across the board. So I know there have been changes to the way the energy system work over the years. So I wasn't 100% sure, and I'm still going to test regardless of anything else. Look at that for power storage. I'm still going to test regardless. We're going to get rid of those. That should stop any energy input. It has. We are now just passively draining. Oh, that's one downside to doing that, isn't it? I didn't think about that. That's not too bad. It's only, I was going to say, I was expecting it to be a much higher value. I forgot the passive drain gets capped at a certain amount, doesn't it? 1% of total capacity. So, yeah, 102... That's not 1% of total capacity, though. Oh, no, capped at 100,000 EU per tick. Per capacity block. Per capacitor block. So, can we withstand 100,000 EU per tick? How much are we getting from the Naquadah reactors? Not that it matters too much. We can just put an extra layer of lower tier capacitors on there. Those do 3 amps of ZPM, which is what? How much? 393,000. Oh yeah, I think we can withstand that easily. I think that's going to be fine. 100,000, that's not even one of our Naquadah reactors. Anyway, right, that's neither here nor there right now. That's not what we're wanting to test. What we want to test, just to be sure, because believe it or not, people in chat have been wrong before. Even when they've been positive, they've been right. So we are going to test. So say we wanted to check for, well, most of this we were actually inputting as ZPM. So let's just like kind of simulate what we would have running into this. So 30, what's 36 times 3? 108. So 100, basically 108 amps of ZPM. And then we've also got 24 amps of IV. Wait, no, that's going in there as well. Yeah, seems fine. Although that's only inputting 5.4 million. Is that right? That can't be right. 108 amps of 131,072 should be around about 15 million. And this can handle 256 amps. Ah, of course, yes. We needed to add it. I forgot we needed to add in a second one. Oh shit, yeah, it's oh yeah, because it doesn't convert, it still only accepts the max amperage, doesn't it? So we might need to make a few of the UV ones. We could just have ZPM ones, but I prefer to keep them as UV so that when we do add the advanced Nakoda reactor, we don't need to change anything around. That's 1.3. So we're going to need, what, at least 3 of these then? Actually, we'll probably end up needing to add more onto there eventually. Because the large Nakoda reactors themselves output 64 amps of ZPM. Yeah, that should be fine. That should be outputting, yeah, 1.4. That we shouldn't even need the third one for the minute, should we? That shouldn't change anything since this is outputting. That's outputting 108 amps. That's outputting 24. So actually, yeah, that would only be 132 amps, wouldn't it? So maybe we would. So if we do add that, yeah, 132 amps. I forgot it's based on amperage as well. Hey, Tiger Monkey, how you doing? So yeah, if we just make, for now, 3 64 amp energy hatches, that should, and then we'll just switch all the coils out for probably the 2X cables, just because it's, maybe we do the 4X ones. We've got basically a limitless supply of Omnium, so we don't need to worry too much about it. So if I just output the extra, like put them all as the 4X Omnium cables, that should be more than enough. Do we want to go 16X though? Just for future proofing? Because if we add in, so these can hold 256. If we add in, say, 2 of the large Nakoda reactors, I can't imagine we will need 2 of them, but you never know. Thank you for the posture check. I appreciate it. I'd tell you what, let's stick with the 4 amp, what the 4x ones for the time being, and then we'll kind of upgrade at kind of the meeting point of all of them if we need to. Taking a break from reading this college book chapter. Seems a lot of people doing a lot of college work at the minute. Is it like getting close to like exam times and stuff? I don't know. It's been a very long time since I went to school, so. There's a lot of people doing things like a lot of like schoolwork and everything at the moment. I'm just wondering if it's getting close. Like a lot of people mentioning it. I'm just wondering if it's getting close to like exam times or anything like that. And that's why there's so many people doing schoolwork at the moment. You had a great time? Glad to hear that, Sodo. Right, I think we can turn, now that I'm not doing other stuff in the background, I can turn shaders back on again. Hopefully. There we go, if it doesn't crash. Right, okay, so I didn't do all the Omnic casings, like I said. I did them in batches of 20. So we've got 100 of the 133 we need. So if we just start another batch now, it gives a rough idea of how long it's been taking for them. It wasn't as bad as I thought it'd be, actually. But there was a couple of things I did do off stream as well. Or one main thing. We upgraded this to an LUV quad hatch on just this assembler. I upgraded the rest of them as well this morning just to make sure that we didn't run into any of the issues with that. Other than that... Oh, one other thing, though, is that if we're going to be inputting power, we're also going to be inputting them from these. So I think I'm going to have to use, like, ZPM converters. And then, because I think we've got a ZPM energy hatch over here on the back, which isn't being used for anything at the moment. But I'm pretty sure that all of the power we have inputting from those isn't going to come to more than 64 amps of ZPM. But yeah, power is turning on a lot more often nowadays. Because we look, while we're crafting this, we're going up to about like 8 or 9 million at times, which is getting dangerously close to our input amount. So that's why I want to do another 12 of these on kind of the back of here. All right, no worries, Tiger. I appreciate you stopping in. Yeah, so we're going to move that to do another 12 of those on the back of there. We're going to do this after the Omnic Forge, by the way. We want to get that done first. And the other thing we want to do today is upgrade a few things in here. And possibly shift it around ever so slightly. Because at the minute, we've got everything running through here. And it's taking like 30 seconds to do that. Because we kind of used up all of our actual passive crafted tritium supplies. And we've now gone into using up some of the dust that we had stored up, which is fine. And again, uranium, rhodium dinaquidide being a pain in my ass. Like I say, once we can get an alloy blast smelter going for those, a larger alloy blast smelter. I guess we don't have to wait till we have the mega alloy blast smelter for it. Once we have the Omnic coils for that, we can use the tritanium coils from there in the alloy blast smelters that we've got. Upgrade those to UHV if they aren't already. And then run it through there. Yeah, they're only at UV at the moment. We'll upgrade those to UHV and then run it through there. And then that should ease the load a little bit on the coolers. Right, okay. How are we getting on with this? More trinium ingots. That's really not too bad, like waiting for 20 of those. And I think that's the way I'm going to do any larger crafts from now on, is rather than just request them all in one go, request them in small batches. So if we request them in small batches, if we find that one part of the process is going considerably slower than we expected it to, we don't have to wait for the entire process to finish before we fix it. We can see, like, as we go. Right, let's sort out our Omnium cables. I think I am going to go for the... Yeah, we'll just go for the 4X ones. Oh, I think I did upgrade pretty much all of my multi-blocks, or most of my multi-blocks to UV energy hatches, since we had a bunch left over. Right, I don't know how many of these we need, but I'm going to guess 256 probably won't be enough, but that shouldn't take too long. And we'll have to wait till we finish crafting the Omnic Matrix casings, I think, before we switch everything over. But this at least should stop us running into any issues with cables burning under weird circumstances. If we just do another 256, that's fine. That should give us plenty of them. And these, yeah, again, we're just waiting on the trinium. Is that what's crafting in here now? Yeah. Oh, we could upgrade that to a 256 hatch, couldn't we now? Will that be a good idea, though? We need to upgrade this, too. We probably want to upgrade both of these to 64X hatches. Not that that's going to matter for the most part, but if we're upgrading this, then it's probably a good idea. So if we upgrade this to a 256 parallel hatch, and then we'll put that one down into the other cooler. I'll wait till this is finished first, I think. Now we're doing the crystal matrix ingots. I don't even know if we'll be able to do anything at 256 times. Nothing meaningful anyway. None of the things that take a while. I don't know how much of that is actually going to matter. We still seem to be doing okay for most things, at least, which is good. Okay. What else do we need to do for the Omnic Forge? We had the Cryolobus frames. We need a parallel hatch for this. We need 72 fusion glass. Actually, let's where'd my clipboard go? There you go, and thank you for the hydrate and the posture check. I appreciate it. There it is. Right, so we needed... what am I doing? 72 fusion glass, 1 block of crystal matrix. Unlock crystal matrix. Was it 6 of the Skulk superconductors we needed? I want to say it was 6, yeah. I wish we had more space on these lines. That doesn't look right. I can never. Why do I never remember where how many L's there are in parallel. Yeah, I was right. Okay, so there we go. The Omnic Matrix cores are still coming in. We've still got 13 left of these left to craft. But they're not taking too long when we do them in small batches. So we'll do the last 13 once these have come in. And I'm going to leave those in there for now. We'll switch all this stuff over afterwards. As far as the Naquita reactors go, the only really expensive thing is the superconducting coil blocks, I think. A little bit of fusion glass, but everything else is pretty much cheap. And I'm pretty sure we're still doing fine for Naquadria. Yeah, we've still got 3,000 stored there. We should have... Yeah, we've got another 60,000 Naquadria sulfate there to process. So we could do with upgrading this to at least LUV. I think what I'll do is probably upgrade all of this stuff to... Sorry, at least UV rather, not LUV. That's a slight downgrade. We'll probably upgrade everything by 1 energy tier. Just double the speed of everything. There we go. So there's those. We just need 13 more of them. I'm going to do the parallel hatch first. How am I today? So far, so good. But I've only been awake for about an hour or so at the moment. So we'll see if that continues. Oh, I did have to do one other thing. I had to upgrade both of these to UV because I kept running out of liquid helium in the as coolant for these. So I had to upgrade them to UV to make sure we kept up. All right. So what are we going to be waiting for with these stem cells? Stem cells shouldn't take too long, at least. Yeah, one of the things it mentions in here is that these are going to be like incredibly useful. I'm trying to work out what it is we need. Wait, it's not that we need, is it? I'm trying to work out what it is that we need from these in like particularly high quantities. Like the Warden tendrils potentially, but we seem to be keeping up okay at the moment with those. I'm not really sure what else we're going to need in that kind of quantity. Dragon scales, maybe? Dragon den data? I'm sure there's something. I'm not sure what it is. If anybody knows... Oh, we do need a lot of these materials for the ultimate material. You got a sentence-ish typed for the intro paragraph, then your brain said no. That's better than nothing, though, right? Something is better than nothing. I really hope we can get the Omnium coils for that sorted out today. Just so we can switch over those tritanium ones over to the ABSs and move the europium, this stuff, the Naquita trinium, europium duranide, and probably the dinaquidide stuff over to the ABS, or back over to the ABSs, because I think I originally had it in there. I'm going to take everything but that out of here for now. I don't know why this is prioritizing that one. over this one. I'm also thinking I might redo the way how I kind of approach this system. And put it on subnetworks instead. And have a subnetwork that can just see the hot ingots. And then use stocking buses. And then that potentially have this one on a sub network. I don't know. I'm trying to find ways of prioritizing, like having one of these have those particular ingots. But then that's going to be trying to solve a problem that we won't necessarily have soon. Okay, this shouldn't take too long. And then we can upgrade the parallel hatch on here. I don't know how much difference this is actually going to make in the grand scheme of things. Yeah, emailed your English professor to say you might be late tomorrow. Is your professor usually like relatively understanding of these kind of things? Okay, this might take a minute. I have a feeling, though, that I didn't switch over the... All right. Make sure we set that to 256. That I didn't switch over the circuits in that recipe. I have to check that in a minute. To use the universal ones. Right, there we go. Okay. Right, let's do our last 13 Omnic Matrix casings. That should be a little bit quicker than the last 20. Let's see if this is actually can run anything at 256. No, the Enderium's only going at 32, although I don't know if that's because we only needed 32. Oh no, we definitely needed more. Actually, I'll tell you what, while this is going, I actually need to kind of head to the bathroom very quickly, so just bear with me for a couple of minutes. I'll be right back. I'll leave you on this screen so you can keep an eye on what we're actually, like how far we are with the progress, and I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. Sorry about that. English professor, yes. Your art one, not so much. Which one is it? Is it the English professor you're worried about though? All right, we are almost there. What do we need for this skulk? We need 6 spots. What's 9 times 6? 54. What's that gonna take? Bit of uranium 235. Doesn't seem too bad actually. Right, what are we waiting on? Still trinium and uranium rhodium dinaquidide. I guess if you're constantly late, I guess I can kind of understand them getting a little frustrated with it, but if you're not constantly late, it's only every now and then. Can't see why they'd be too bothered. Where have I even been getting sculpt catalysts from? Oh, this might be one of the things that we need from the thing. Right, while we're doing this, let's see what else we need to look at and what's coming up and what we need to consider. Activated netherite is something I think we're going to have to do very soon, because we're going to need that by the looks of things for the matter processing units, which are used for that. I'm guessing these are probably the final tier of circuits. Quest book, please. Thank you. Oh, they're not even. There's still 2 tiers of circuits left after this. Holy shit. Monic processors, dimensional processor assemblies, and then matter matter ones. Okay. Yeah, we've got a few more tiers to go. We are almost on the final coil though. We could probably upgrade the backpack at this point, but I don't think we really need to. Yeah, this is... So, uranium, rhodium, dinaquidide. Actually, I think a stocking hatch is going to be the best option for these. Like a sub-network and a stocking hatch, because that way not everything gets shoved into one thing. Like, everything's available to everything, so if one of them can't back up with everything. If that makes sense. Oh, we are doing 112 uranium, rhodium, dinaquidide ingots at once in here. That's not terrible. I think the mega alloy blast smelter, though, is definitely going to be necessary. Actually, the mega alloy blast smelter, we're going to have 96 tritanium coils. If we just keep the mega alloy blast smelter with tritanium coils for now, that can do everything that we need at the moment, including the like europium whatever anide, duranide, the europium duranide stuff. We're on a UHV. We won't be able to parallelize this yet, but for the time being, that wouldn't be... Well, no, actually, we can make the mega alloy blast smelter with the tritanium coils, can't we? We've got 96. We need 130, so we only need 100. We only need 34 more. We've got 115 buckets of tritanium at the moment. How many ingots is that? That's probably not enough, but it's 115 divided by... Wait, sorry, 115,000 divided by 144. That's 798. It's 12 stacks. 12 and a half stacks of tritanium. That's not terrible. Maybe we could get that to work. And then we upgrade those coils a little later. I think that is probably the way we go. By the way, I've been trying to come up with, because we seem to be doing a lot of waiting around at the moment, I'm trying to think of things that we can do in the situations like where we're just waiting. And like most of the machines are tied up. And I have a new, it'll probably be a very temporary addiction of a game called Clover Pit, which is kind of like a slots-based game. It's kind of slots-based horror-ish game, where you kind of have a debt to pay off, and you have to spin the slot use the slot machine to try and pay off that debt, and you can get various different kind of lucky charms and kind of upgrade things that you can use to kind of synergize and make more and more money to pay off the ever-increasing debts. It's something that you could just play in kind of very short bursts. So I might, if we start getting to a point where we're waiting for very long periods, I might have that running in the background, and we'll switch over to that whenever things get particularly slow for any appreciable length of time. That'll just give us something to do in the background. And it will also feed my fake gambling addiction. How are we getting on? We are waiting on ZPM field generators, now neuroprocessing units, and a few more trinium ingots. Are you were late since the first day because you didn't have the materials, and you're pretty much all of them now? No, at least you've got everything now, though. Right? That's good. Right? Right, these aren't backing up anymore either, which, at least not at the moment. That's one good thing about doing things in smaller batches. We don't get these backing up constantly. Also, these always look like they're on to me. They're not, but they always look like they're on. I actually forgot we had yttrium titanium, yttrium barium cuprate. Passived. So many things we could do with upgrading. I think we're kind of, there we go. There they are. Our last Omnic Matrix coils. One more than we needed, but that's fine. Okay, so we needed, what did we say we needed? We need 6 blocks, so 9 times 6, 54 of these. We'll do those next. Haven't been with her today. You see if you can go through and do all these sums and turn them in, even though they are late. Try and get a better grade, because right now you haven't. To be fair, I got a very low grade for art as well at school. Despite apparently, according to some people, being quite good at drawing. Not that I've done it in a very long time. Maybe I can start doing it again when I'm not streaming. Right, block of crystal matrix. Need 9 of those. And then we will start the parallel hatch going as well. And we may as well do a 256 one. I don't know if we're going to be able to use that or not, but also, where the fuck are we going to put this? I think I was going to put it down in the same kind of area as supercomputer. Maybe we put it down. Oh, I'm kind of regretting not putting that further over there now. I guess we could put it down here. But once we get to Where is it? Not that. Well, that is one we need to worry about. I'm sure there was another multi-block assembly line. I can't remember for the life of me what it was. There, yeah, dimensional super assembler. I would like to be able to put one of these in somewhere, and I'm assuming we're going to have to do this across like a couple of chunks. And I'm trying to keep in mind that we're going to be, although actually I think the idea for that was probably going to be to put it that to have that as be one of the things that we have over here. And I will technically replace these, I guess. So if we put the Omnic Forge over here, at least for now. So that's the center line. Those crystal matrix ingots are going to take a while because we're going to have to wait for those. That's okay. That's fine. Right. Okay. So the Omnic Forge. Where does that even go? I'm assuming that goes in the middle. Where do the other bits go? Ah, okay. There's 9 of those. Right, and again, because we're just kind of haven't got a huge amount to do right now, we are just going to do this manually. So how big is this thing? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 9, 9 by 9? It's not too bad. Right, so if we make sure the back of it, we leave a couple of blocks of space, so the back will go there. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So that will be the center. I'm assuming this is all Omnic casings. So that'll be the center. Those are some very colorful casings, I gotta say. All right, so that will be the bottom layer. Next layer. We can't cycle back through the layers, can we? Right, the next layer will come out like that. Oh shit, we haven't got the fusion glass yet, have we? Hell. We've got that. We've got that. We're working on that. We haven't got the 72 fusion glass either. Oops. Okay, we're going to have to do this in bits and pieces then, since we've got to wait for the fusion glass. That shouldn't take too long, though, hopefully. I don't know why I keep switching over to that tab. Well, there's the parallel hatch. So those go like that, and then there'll be glass around there, there, and there. Then we need that and that. So that'll go in the middle. Bilobus frames will go around there. And then I'm assuming that is one block out from the previous layer. I'm assuming it will be like that. And then 2x2s on the glass. And then on top of that, so we've got one more of those. And then that. So that will go on there, I think. So grab the parallel hatch. Except we've got to do the parallel hatch on one of these. We don't have to do the parallel hatch on one of these, but we're going to put the parallel hatch here. Where does the controller block go? Above that. So we could do that. I'm going to assume that these will follow the same pattern that was on the bottom. Okay, that looks about right. And that will go on there. And then again, we follow the same pattern. Oh, it's not showing those in this. It's not showing where those frames go. Did I just miss that somehow? Or is it actually not showing where those are? No, it's not. Okay, well, we have to use this anyway then. Okay, so the next one should be that. I'm assuming then it follows this same pattern on all sides. So that will go there. That will go there. That will go there. That'll go there. And that'll go there. Why do I feel like we made too many casings here? I don't think we did, but... I've also got 3 of these extra. And there's the fusion glass. Beautiful. So this is where the extra casings are supposed to go then. So I missed those. Here we go. I missed that bit. So I'm assuming those go there and there. And now we have got, or we should have the right amount of casings now. Where do I want to put the inputs to this? Is my next question. What do we need in the way of inputs? Just an item input, an ME input, and an output. And there's 10 pages of 2. So if we just use a pattern buffer for this, hopefully that should be fine. Enemy output bus. Your degree is a graphic design, so you need to be good at it. That makes sense. Right, so where are we going to put these? I kind of want them to be somewhat visible. So if we put them there and there. So if we put like the pattern buffer there facing down. And the output bus there facing out. We can just bring an ME cable up to there and they've got kind of like minimal ME cables showing. Right, where were the last few of these? It was there and there, wasn't it? And hopefully this will tell us where all the glass goes. So there, there, and there. And I'm assuming that's mirrored on each side. Let's see if we get this one first time as well. I don't know, for some reason I find it so much more enjoyable to actually place these manually than to automate it. Perfect. Except it's not. What's missing? Oh, right, yeah, energy hatch. I have a feeling I've still got something else missing here as well. Ah, wait. Oh, you can place them anywhere. Oh, wait, no, hang on. I was looking at one of the center three, wasn't I, dumbass? Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Oh, that's fucking annoying, though. That's actually kind of annoying. I guess if we want to keep them out of the way, then we put them at the back. What are we going to need energy hatch-wise? At least UHV, so we're going to need a couple of UV energy hatches. Okay, so we're still missing something here. What have I missed? We've still got plenty of a few casings here. What have I missed? What the hell have I missed? This is the downside to doing this manually. Right, so what am I missing? It doesn't need a maintenance hatch. Got parallel, we've got energy, we've got input and output. I'm actually not sure what I'm missing here. It can be between 1 and 2 energy hatches. Well, I was missing 2 things somewhere that it has now placed for me, but I don't know where I missed them. Oh, I think I know. I think it was potentially... No, it wouldn't have been those up there, would it? I don't know. But it's formed, so... I don't know where I missed them, but I missed them. Beautiful. Okay, right. Let's get some cabling over here. I guess we may as well bring this down. No, don't connect up to there as well. I'll run out. There we go. We have an Omnic Forge. Beautiful. We'll set that to 256, even though we're probably never going to need that much. There we go. Okay. So... I'm assuming the first thing we actually want to make with this is going to be the Omnic Matrix coils. So let's actually just craft a couple. I'm not going to do all the Omnic Matrix coils yet. I'm going to sort out the power situation first. But I do want to get at least one crafted so we know it's going to work. I never made the 2x Omnium wire. I'm on the wrong tab again. Well done, chat. How long does it actually take to craft? 50 seconds. Okay. We're definitely going to be doing those in small batches. So that's going to take about, well, at least an hour, well, over an hour and a half to craft them all. So we definitely can't parallelize with this. Why did that suddenly kick me out of that screen? Wait, that's... Why did that suddenly kick me out of that screen? I've still got power. Strange. Anyway, right. We need to do a few more recipes while we're waiting for that. Wait, is that actually crafting now? Let me just make sure it's crafting. Oh, well, that answers that question. It is indeed crafting. Cool. Okay, right. So we know we can make Omnic coils now, or Omnic Matrix coils. But what we want to do now is make a UV substation energy hatch. or 3 for now. I might do 4, just for future-proofing. Don't need too many recipes for that, at least. So just in the assembler and the assembler. Right, so I think we're going to do these in... We'll just do them in batches of 2. I don't know how long these are going to take, so... We're going to have to wait till these turn off before we start switching over the cabling. Right, what's going to be taking the time with these? Honestly, not much. These shouldn't take too long to craft at all. And then we're going to switch these over for ZPM ones. Although I think I might put these in the center. Put two upwards in the center, then one either side when we finish them. What else are you crafting? Auto stuff. I'm assuming the dynamo hatch is... Yeah, assembly line. I probably should get rid of these. Actually, what I probably should do is replace these with another 24 of those, but... just for symmetry's sake. Actually, maybe that is worthwhile doing. Is that going to be worthwhile doing? Because that will actually take down the maximum, I think, amount of amperage. Oh, no, it won't. It will increase it. Yeah, for anyone who wasn't here at the start, basically what we're doing is we're switching out all of this cabling here for Omnium cables. And we're switching these out for UV input hatches so that we can kind of future-proof it. For when we finally get the... large Aquila reactors. Right, so those didn't take too long to craft. And so yeah, what we're going to end up doing is switching over all the cabling, because we did have some issues with the cabling burning every now and then. Well, it hasn't for a long time. The only reason was because of the input from the fission reactors. Filling that up and then causing some issues with these backing up with power, and yeah, we didn't want that happening. But with the upgrades we're planning on doing now, we shouldn't have to worry about that too much. Because since we're doing all of, basically connecting everything with 4x Omnium cables, we should never run into a situation where these are trying to push too many amps into the cables. Which should never have been an issue to begin with, in all fairness, but for some reason it was. And we've also got to switch out one of these capacitors for one of these. That's the other thing we got to get sorted. So we'll sort out the... Hopefully we should have our power issues sorted today. I think I am going to get rid of these and mirror this on the other side, you know? just for symmetry's sake, I was only going to do another, like, 12 Naquita reactors. But since these are all only outputting, what, 32,768 EU per tick? And they're using gene gasoline, which we could be using which we're using elsewhere as well. At least the Naquadria bolts are cheap as hell to make. So yeah, I think that's what we'll do. We'll kind of tear this slot down, mirror everything, and although I do like the look of this, do we need to do that really? I don't think we do. Oh no! I made 2 dynamo hatches and not fucking... Oh, you... Yeah, look. Well, shit. I can't even smelt those down either to get resources back. Whoops. Oh well, never mind. Hey, we might come to a point where we're outputting more than 64 amps of UV. Potentially. And then if we do, we've got 2 64 amp dynamo hatches that we can use for it. That's fine. Okay. What else do we need to be looking at? This is something we definitely do need to be looking at. Like, is it worth making more Naquita reactors now, or can we actually make this? We would need another 72 Omnic Matrix coils. I think we do still make the other 12 Naquita reactors, but when we do it, we'll make 13 and we'll use one of them to scan for this, and then we'll, at some point very, very soon, start looking at what we need to do for making the fuel, because there's a whole big production line for this. I made dynamo hatches the first fucking time, for the first 2 as well. Oh, I'm such a moron. Oh, that was so dumb. Thankfully, we've got plenty of Dom Stadium. I did do... Oh, that's one thing I did do. I did request another 2048 Darmstadite, which is giving us a bunch of Dom Stadium, so at least we don't need to worry too much about that. The rest of it, though, I'm fucking annoyed that I've done that, because those are going to be... Those dynamo hatches are going to be... I'm assuming useless. Although, can I there's substation hatches. I'm guessing they can't be used on the large Naquita reactor, since these output 64 amps. I'm going to go ahead and assume they can't be used on this, since they are substation hatches. Yeah, I'm assuming it is just intending for you to use the laser hatches for it. Or up to 16 amp dynamo hatches, which we couldn't use anyway. Although, unless we had a UHV ones, I guess. Oh, that was so dumb. But we got what we need now, at least, and it didn't take too long, so... If I remove you and you, do that. And then I remove you and you. Actually, not you. You and you. We're going to have to be pretty quick with this, I think. So what we need to do is basically remove all of this and hope that nothing runs into issues while we're doing it. We should be able to just connect this lot up. And the other plus side to this is it looks a lot more colourful. I'm not sure if that's a particularly useful trait to have in cabling, but, you know, we have it. Hey, Larvy. Hope you're doing well. Wrong place. Yeah, it's pretty nice. It's the Omnium. Cabling. How are you doing, Larvy? And how are the kittens? And how's Reckless as well? Glad to go to the vet. Oh no, is she okay? I'm guessing not entirely if she had to go to the vet, but... Her eyes sore. Did they find out what it was? Oh, for crying out fucking loud. I think 512 of these cables is probably not going to be enough.
Well, hello there.
Kit, hello, how are you doing? Thank you so much for the 74 months, Kit. You probably shouldn't have resubbed, but thank you. I do appreciate it. Can we get some love and hearts in chat? How are you been, Kit? Hopefully you're doing all right. I think that's... Is that the current one? Rex is doing okay? Good. Okay, spend the weather and yes. Awesome. Well, hopefully you feel better soon, Kit. There you go. Next to Bubble Rainer. I appreciate it. Let's go back to replacing all of our cables with nice, pretty, colourful ones. There we go, that's that line sorted. Where did that even place? I just heard the cable place. How did it place there? I don't even know how that's possible. Makes no sense. Oops, too far. It connects, yeah. Okay, now I need to make sure this is going to work when things turn on. What's 80% of 459 billion? 367. That will turn on when it gets down to 367. We kind of need to wait until that happens to make sure this will input as intended. Although that might take a little while at this rate. Oh, I wonder if I can melt this. Can I please tell me I can melt these back down again? Oh, I can. Perfect. Okay, that's actually not a bad, going to be a bad idea. If I melt these down again, this will get us a bunch of uranium, rhodium, dinacridide back again. So at least those we can melt down. How close are you getting? Close-ish. Good afternoon, V. How you doing? And hello, M, as well. Right, nearly there. Maybe we are going to have plenty of cabling for this. Let's wait until this turns on. I don't know if I time falling asleep last night. So I woke up fully right when kids had to be at school. Ouch. I can relate though, V. I did not. Uh. Okay, so that's a thing. I now can't get back down there. So apparently these are not insulated. Most of the superconductors are... Oh, shit! I've got to redo all of this cabling. I thought, given that these were superconductors, I thought that there was... I can't use these. I didn't realize these had cable loss. Oh, for fuck's sake. Yes. I literally can't even reach my grave. I have no blocks. I have nothing right now. That is so... Oh, for fuck's sake. I've just done all this and I've got to redo the whole fucking thing. Wait, what now? Um... Okay, so now I have, Well, this is fucking irritating, isn't it? I figured that those were going to be lossless cables. They're not lossless fucking cables. What the fuck is the point in that shit then? It's a tiny amount of cable loss, but all things considered, but the fact that I've not cut, I assumed they were superconductors, so I didn't have to. So now I've just torn apart my entire power system and I've just completely fucked myself. All because I listened to somebody in chat. Not the worst thing in the world, but fuck's sake. This is why I don't listen to chat. And once again, we're back to me just wanting to quit this whole fucking playthrough, at least on stream. Might just be worth making a shitload of 4 amp ZPM converters. It's fucking pissed me off. Well, the only way I can use lossless cables that will to transfer to here, because we kind of need to use lossless cables, really, to get the most out of this, but I guess we're just going to transfer this using lasers then. Also, I don't know why I've got like 20 fucking storage drive things. These are all duplicated when I died. Make sure that is actually still working before we trash all of them. so fucking frustrating. Like if we wanted to basically transfer, do what we're doing now, I'd need to make a shitload of these. So fucking irritating. Oh, and I can't even do it this way anyway, can I? Because I'm so fucking pissed off right now. I don't even know what to do at this point. I genuinely don't even know what to do at this point. What is the cable loss like on these? Eight EU per meter. What's the furthest any of these have to travel? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51. It's honestly not that bad. We'd obviously have to tear all these out and make the covered variants of them, but... I mean, it's only really going to be maybe 10,000 EU we lose. But considering the way we had it set up before, which was working fine, by the way. And that's bearing in mind, that's only that one. This one is even further away. We're probably looking at about 1,000 EU loss from that, which, given that given how much they output is not a huge amount, but it's just what bugs me is the fact that it's not lossless. I had assumed, because somebody had come in and said, oh yeah, you can now start using the Omnium cables for everything. Yeah, you can, except you've got to deal with fucking cable loss. And that's per amp. Bearing in mind we're outputting 3 amps, so it's going to be 3 times that amount. But the loss would be even more if we went back to using peer-to-peer, energy peer-to-peers. And we can't really use converters because you can only get up to 16 amp converters. So we'd need to use 16 converters to be able to convert to all of this if we started using. I wouldn't mind making the bloody superconductors, but the problem is the UV superconductors are the enriched naquadotrinium europium duranide, which takes forever to fucking craft. Right, how far would this be? What's the most we're going to lose from any of these? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60, 61 blocks would be the maximum. So 61 times 3 times 8. Yeah, times 8. That's actually, honestly, not awful. If we're losing at most about 1,464 from each. And we're making 393,000 from each. I think that's fine. I think we'll have to live with that. I'm going to have to fucking live with that. It's too much of a pain in the ass to... Because I was using, like, kind of correctly amped cables to connect this up before. We're going to be losing a lot more at the moment with the uncovered variants. I didn't cover them because I figured they were a superconductor. But they're not. So, fuck me, I guess. I'm going to be honest, chat. I don't think I'm going to be finishing this playthrough on stream. I'm almost certain of it. And now I can't even get close to these until they're finished. I don't know how that... I'm assuming that still affects the same way regardless of what type of cable, what kind of type of output it is. I don't fucking know. I'm just pissed off that I did all this. I'm pissed off for myself more than anything else for not reading it. I'm so sick of everything. I'm going to wait until this is actually filled up again before I start switching things over. I guess I can start switching these over. I don't want to end up killing myself on the fucking wire again. Wondering if these would be any better. I'm assuming these are lossless. And then we'll still have to use the cabling from these, but if we bring the cabling from these down into a single active transformer down here, and then another one in the center that will connect both of them, and then laser hatches, kind of lasers across from here, and then bring them up into there. Maybe that's actually a better way of doing it. Because we can do 256 amp laser hatches. I'm sorry, chap. There's just one thing after another at the minute, and I'm struggling. No, if I take a break, V, I won't be coming back. We'd need, what, 4 active transformers if we were going to do it this way? Can't believe I didn't fucking check to see if these were lossless or not. Okay, so how are we going to do this? If we put a laser hatch like in the center of here, it will connect the Omnium cables up to that laser hatch, up to that, not really, V, no. I mean, there is, but I don't, it probably won't work with things like cables. So, I guess I've never used active transformers before, so I'm not entirely sure how these work. But I guess we would do the an active transformer like in the center of here. One here. And we'd have to move this out of the way, but one here, one there. And then one over there as well. And then we'd have just dynamo hatches on the active transformer. And then laser hatches for outputs, 256 amp outputs from there to there. We won't need 256 amps from these, but it doesn't look like there is anything lower than 256 amp ones. So we'd have to do laser hatch from there, and then target hatch on either side, and then output from here, and target hatch on there, and then an output from there, and then I don't know how we can do it from there. I'm basically just trying to mitigate how much we're losing. You know what? Fuck it. I'm just not even going to worry about how much we're losing. I just need to make sure I'm not standing on these when they turn on. How is it that whenever things are going badly, things are pretty much just guaranteed to start going worse? The loss from this really isn't going to be that bad. Not compared to what we're making. I just wish the actual superconductors didn't take so freaking long to craft. Now that I've now gone from lossless cable to lossy cables. That's the real kicker in all this. is that my... How did I... What's my tool binding for the tool belt? The irony of all this is if I hadn't died to this, I wouldn't have even checked to see if there was cable loss on them or not. And I probably wouldn't have even noticed. Actually, I can do away with some of this now. I can actually hook that up to there. And we'll be able to do the same with that, which will probably not save us a huge amount of distance, but... Well, no, dying. I'm not bothered about dying. Like, it's like dying really has no penalty in this whatsoever. The dying is less of an issue than the cable loss. And again, like I say, the cable loss also doesn't really matter at this stage. But it's a lot more, but bearing in mind, like, I'm losing power when I wasn't before. That's the thing that's bugging me. That I tore all this down, basically because somebody had said, oh yeah, you can use Omnium cables for everything now. They didn't mention the fact that they were actually that they weren't lossless cables, or even a superconductor of any kind. And I didn't think to check. Because the one time I do actually pay attention to chat and accept what they've said, they're wrong. Well, they're not wrong. They definitely weren't wrong. I just didn't have all the information. I can't really blame chat for this, as much as I would like to. If I do decide I'm not happy with the cable loss, though, I will switch over to using the active transformers. Probably not the worst idea anyway, but there's still going to be some cable loss, just it's going to be significantly less. In fact, do I want to do that? You know what? I'll keep what we've got over there. We'll keep this connected. And then I think I am going to go and look at the active transformers. I mean, I've never used them before, so it'll be an interesting thing to try out. If nothing else. And I can learn how active transformers work. I don't think I'm going to do that today. I mean, I'm going to have to use active transformers at some point, probably anyway, when we get the large and aqua reactor, just to be able to transfer enough power. But we don't need to do that now. And the loss from these is actually going to be considerably more noticeable. Because these are going to be outputting 1 amp of LUV. And still losing the same amount. LUV is 32,768, and we're going to be losing up to about 1,500, depending on where it is. Actually, no, it'll be a little bit less than that. It'll be only be about 500. It'll be, as far as percentage-wise goes, it will still be... It'll be a higher percentage than it is from the other ones. Even though these are only outputting 1 amp. And I think I'm still going to change over the wires on the other side as well, just to keep things consistent. Even though this now means losing a bunch of power from it. And even the bigger problem still than the cable loss, or the bigger annoyance still than the cable loss, is the wasted time. Right, that should be okay now. Well, not okay, but all working and connected. I've just got to do the maths for how much we need of everything else. So each one of those 16 spatial pylons. Now then we basically need to add half of that for each one we add on each row. So 16 plus 40, so 56 for each layer. We'll do them one layer at a time, I think. But basically what we're doing is mirroring this, at least this one side over to here. This might take a while to craft. Wait, why do those turn on? And then off again. Where are you? Oh, you're not connected there. We need casing wise. We need a shitload of fusion glass. Let's just do 2 stacks of that for now. And what coils do we need? Trinium. We've already got 128 of those, so we should have plenty of trinium coils for this. How did I set all of these up? Is the next question. So we've got stocking bus in the center of every 2. Oh, I do need the dynamo hatches for each of them, don't I? That's the bit that might take a little bit of time. I need 13, I think. We're using the 4 ZPM ones, right? You know what, I'm going to finish this off stream. I'm sorry, everybody. I'll probably be